two. And hello, Mr. Dave Lacki. How are you doing? It's good to see you.
Same here, Todd. How are you?
I'm well, given the circumstances, but yeah, I'm doing really, really well. It's been a while since we've actually seen each other, but it's really good to see you on Zoom videos. Zoom seems to be the new face-to-face meeting for sure, for sure. But hey, Dave, for those that haven't met you or don't know you from around Coppell or your business, introduce yourself and tell us about your business that you have.
Thanks, Todd. So I'm a longtime Coppell resident. Been here since 1991. And about 10 years ago, I kind of saw a need here to do a better job at this whole window installation business. So I started Beat the Heat Windows. We do basically new window replacement. So that's something that we get a lot of calls on. I get a ton of calls on people wanting to replace glass. And unfortunately, we don't replace glass. We replace the whole window. So that's our goal, energy efficiency with a nice new window in your house that, literally will last your lifetime, certainly.
Got it. And how long you been doing that business?
About 10 years.
About 10 years. All right, great. Well, I know you had a couple of actually windows that were there you were showing me before we got started. Well, the reason we're here is that this is I guess the word is unprecedented time with COVID and the coronavirus. And so this last 2 weeks have been really, really strange. How has this pandemic affected your business? What's that look like from your business standpoint?
So in my business, on the surface, it hasn't really affected us. I'm still getting calls, people still wanting quotes. We're still doing installation. We fall under the construction blanket of, necessary businesses. So, we're still doing installations during this, obviously adding some precautions. Obviously in the window business, window installation, we have to enter the house. Most of the installation's done from the outside. So our presence in the home is limited at best, even in normal circumstances. So other than that, it's not too bad. It's a little hard to tell because we operate about 5 weeks out. So the windows I'm putting in now were people ordered about 5 weeks ago. I did have some more measurements recently, when this whole thing started, but the last couple of days the phone hasn't rang. So, it's probably safe to say that it's going to have some impact. It's just a little hard to tell how much.
Yeah, that's interesting. So you're on a 5-week window. So if I called you today, I didn't window as a pun, sorry, but a time lag. So if I called you today, technically we'd set something up in just over a month. Is kind of what you're saying. Is that right?
Yeah, from ordering to installation, because all our windows are custom made. There's no such thing as a off the shelf window for a home, because everything is custom measured and then ordered out of a factory in Ohio.
So you mentioned that maybe the inbound calls, you said you hadn't received any call, and I guess it's Friday. You said a couple days. Is that right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. That sounds like definitely that's affecting your business from an inbound call standpoint. What's your typical call volume? So if you've had 0 in like 2 working days, you're usually taking 2, 3, 10, 20 calls a day. What's that look like?
So, being kind of Coppell based, I cast a fairly small net.
Got it.
So I'm really, my goal is concentrating Coppell and a couple surrounding communities. 100% of my business is referrals. So hopefully, nobody's ever seen a door hanger from me or something in the mail or somebody knocking on their door, right? Because it's just one customer to another. So I'll go anywhere on a referral, but most of the time I'm staying locally. So, I don't do a huge volume to begin with because I don't cover the whole Metroplex.
Sure. No, totally understand that. Yeah, totally. And are you consumer only, or do you do business also?
So we do commercial about as far as just like apartments. So that kind of thing, and apartment complexes, apartment homes, condos, some of that stuff. We don't do any kind of commercial building, commercial glass, storefronts, high rises. That's not really my scope.
Got it. No, totally understand. I just it helps me think through just kind of how your business could be affected or just what that looks like. So have you needed to do any research, understand what's happening with the small business loans or anything through the stimulus package? Have you had to do that with your business at all?
Not yet. I've been thinking about it. My first stop would be the chamber. I'm a chamber member, the local chamber of commerce here in Coppell. That would be my first stop. Right now, I'm not at that point where I need a security loans or guarantee any funding or anything like that.
Okay. Well, we talked to, I don't know if you saw it, but we did talk to Kevin Nevels about his business. He's the chamber, is it president or chairman, whatever his title is. But yeah, Kevin's a great guy. So yeah, we had to talk with him about a week or so ago. What is the best way for people if they wanted to reach out to you and learn more about your business? If now that maybe there's some gaps in time that maybe this is actually a good time to do this kind of work versus, if a family is, husband and wife both leaving the house to head to the offices, how they get a hold of you?
So I drive a lot of people to my website. It's beattheheatwindows.com, pretty straightforward. On there's a link that you can submit a kind of bid request type thing. Phone is always good. My phone number's on there. I can be found on the chamber website, on Google. I get a lot of business from Facebook, again, referrals, next door, that kind of thing. I answer every email personally and phone call personally. So that's usually the best way to get a hold of me.
No, that's perfect. That's perfect. Well, any as we wrap up, is there any thoughts that you might have for other business owners, other ones that are other companies that are dealing with Coppell? Any lessons that you've learned, good, bad, and ugly, in this last kind of week or two with the pandemic?
I think some of the challenges is going to be, at least in this construction part of this, is what the city does with permits, because we're required to pull a permit to replace windows. So exactly where that goes. So a lot of that was luckily transitioning to an online things, portal, so you didn't have to actually physically go to the building inspection office anymore. But if you did have to go and submit plans and that kind of thing, that could be a challenge. So some businesses may want to, think about that. There's probably going to be some delays in plan approval. I don't know. I haven't heard from the local Coppell building office if what happens if they have to end up going like to a work from home type scenario, if plans will still be permitted or if they'll put off permits or, any of that kind of thing. So that could be a challenge. But, Coppell is a great community. I mean, the people are still, obviously, reaching out and still doing business. So fortunate to be here.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Very good point about the city of Dallas, city of Coppell on how they're handling permits. I'll see if I can find some of that out, or maybe someone will see this and be able to message. But I know they're having to operate differently, like the rest of us, with kind of doors shut and everything on Zoom and no face-to-face, or coming into town center, to conduct business. So it's a really, really good point. We'll see if we can find some of that out, or if somebody that watches it could throw some information in the comments, that would be awesome. Well, Dave, listen, it's really, really good to see you. I'm glad to hear that your business is, staying steady, and I hope it'll continue to do that and get better, increase really, really soon. And so I wish you the best of luck. Stay safe, and I really appreciate your time.
Todd, thank you. Best to your family, and we'll see you around town.
Yeah, absolutely. I will see you around.